Greetings, I'm Jason and welcome to my comic book reviews. This week we've got 10 books. I think 4 of them are DC, 6 are Marvel. So hopefully the mission, fingers crossed, is that I can keep this video to around 20 minutes. Let's see if that can happen. Once again, I apologise for the lighting. We've still got all the scaffolding up, so yeah, we've got pretty much crap lighting. It's even worse upstairs because we're having the brickwork worked on. So the upstairs bedrooms are just totally blacked out. So yeah, at least it isn't that bad down here. We've only got half a window blocked out down here. So anywho, you didn't want to hear about my windows, you want to hear about the comics I got this week. So without further ado, let's get into those books. First up, we have Batwoman, issue number 34. I've not bought this book for a while. I really dislike the annual, and I kind of stopped reading it around that time. But I've really been enjoying seeing Batwoman in Batman Eternal, so I thought I'd give it a whirl. Plus, the book was also, apparently something big happens, so I thought good as time as ever to come back. This book has 2 artists, which seems to be something DC do a lot, have multiple artists on book, and I don't understand why. Is it they don't manage their time properly? Or is it just their strategy of how they want to do their books? Because you have Marvel, who bring out about, must be like 18 issues per book a year, and very rare do you have multiple artists on Marvel books. Yet here we have DC, it's a regular thing. So I don't know what goes on. It's something I don't like, but it's a lot of times it's how you manage it. And in the case of this issue, I think they managed the 2 artists really well. The first artist deals with all the fight scenes at the beginning, and then the second artist does the more emotional part of the issue. And I think that works, having the 2 artists do distinctly different parts of the book. I think it did make the 2 different artists work, and it wasn't really a problem and never took me out of the book too much. The story itself I found really easy to follow. I haven't read this, it must be about 4 months, but I found it followed. There was one character in this one, this character over here, Killshot. I didn't have a clue who he was or why he wanted Nocturna dead, but apart from that, the rest of the book I found really easy to follow. The first half of the issue, like I say, or maybe less than a half, is as Batwoman, as she's fighting off. You've got Killshot who wants to kill Nocturna, you've got Night Thief who wants to protect Nocturna, and then you've got Batwoman who just wants to take everybody down. So you've got this big kind of battle royal at the beginning, and there's something pretty important that happens that becomes even bigger later on in the issue. So the actual fight does serve a larger purpose in the issue. We then have the emotional part of the issue as Batwoman comes to this decision because her partner Maggie, her ex-husband, has said to Batwoman that if she stays with Maggie, he will fight for custody. But if she breaks up with Maggie, that he won't fight custody. And so Batwoman has to make this decision. Does she tell Maggie and they fight this guy and, you know, go through the courts? Or does she break up with Maggie and not tell her and try and do something for the greater good? And I felt it was a real emotional part, and I thought it was really well managed by... I need to see the dude's name because I have trouble pronouncing it otherwise. And Draco really manages it really beautifully, and the emotional part of the issue, it's really nice, and I think it really makes Batwoman's character so much stronger, and I really like that. And then the last page, oh my god, what a doozy. I was like, oh, I can't wait for next month, but then you kind of realise, oh wait a minute, we've got to wait 2 months, and damn you DC, because I really want to see where this book goes next. This was a lot better than I remembered reading it the last time I read it. So I think the book, for me at least, I think the book's really picking up. I think they managed the art as good as you can with 2 artists this issue. And all in all, I really enjoyed this, and I would give Batwoman issue number 34 4 stars out of 5. So next up, moving right along, as the Muppets would say, we have the New 52 Futures End issue number 16. This was a really momentous issue as we at last we get some answers. We start the issue off with this character called Stormguard, and I really like the art in this book, and it does the opening scene here with Stormguard I just really loved. It is, I think his name is Jesus Mourinho, and he does a really great job here. There's another really great scene, if I can find it, with Superman that I really loved. Here, this scene here, with Superman turns up to Tobacco Rampage. Yeah, the art in this book I really liked. I thought they did a really great job art-wise, and I hope to see more of this artist in the future. Because it's one of the things with these weeklies, is that the artists like change every issue, and it's a shame because like one issue you'll get an artist you really like, and the next issue you might get an artist you think is so. And I think it's a shame they didn't have like they've got a pool of writers. It's a shame they didn't have a pool of artists as well, because it does seem to be just random artists every week. Like I said, the story in this was really good. That opening bit with Stormguard was really the only weak part of the issue for me. I just couldn't really get into that part. It was nice to be introduced to this character, but I just couldn't get into that character at all in that part. The rest of the book, you've got some interesting stuff going on with Faraday. You've got Superman turning up, and we get to see a bit of his face, which since the Earth 1, Earth 2 war, he kind of wore this mask. So we get to see a bit of his face. It looks like we're going to get something big coming up there next issue. We then travel into space and catch up with Frankenstein, Hawkman, and Amethyst. And we get answers. Not only do we get the answer of where they are, what planet they're on, which there's a big reveal about that, but we also get behind who's behind this. And I think the cover does spoil it a bit, because you know, if you look at the cover in the background, they've got like who's behind this. But yeah, I just really love this issue. It was really great getting some answers, and it really feels like the story's moving, but also there's different parts of the story that seem to be coming together, because I'm like thinking the character that's behind what's going on in space and behind the destruction of Stormwatch, I'm thinking also is the same person that Mr. Terrific is talking to. So I'm really looking forward to seeing how this is all going to come together. But yeah, so far I continue to really enjoy the heck out of this book, and I give Future's End issue number 16 4 stars out of 5. So moving right along, we next up have Nova issue number 20. This is an original sin tie-in. Of course, the secret that was revealed to Nova was that his dad was part of the Black Novas and that he murdered a Nova. So he, teaming up with Rocket, Nova went into space to try and find the truth about his dad, and he finds this guy called Adamox who tells him his dad was a murderer. He then poisons Rocket and Nova, and they have to try and find an antidote. This issue, it kicks off while Nova is doing, like, Adamox wants him to get this technology so that he can make his helmet so it works for Adamox. So we have Nova going and trying to find this technology, while Rocket is trying to find an antidote. I think these two really make a great team, and I really enjoyed seeing them once again team up this issue. I thought that was really cool. We then get, like, when they get back, there's like a really nice twist, and the book goes in a direction I wasn't expecting it to, which was really nice as well. So yeah, I thought story wise I just really loved this issue, and the end, once again we get some great answers. The story really moves on at the end, and I'm really looking forward to the next issue. I think Nova is just going from strength to strength. Duggan is writing it at the moment. We have David Valdion on art, and I think he's doing a top-notch job this issue. I really loved all the art in this issue. I'm trying to find some good pages here without giving away, you know, the story. I really enjoy. It's tricky. But there you go. There's Rocket there in full effect. One of the things I will mention is it seems a bit strange now that I've seen the Guardians of the Galaxy film. In my head, fitted is that's how I see Rocket. So it's always a bit strange when I see him in the comic and he's drawn how he is in the comic, because in my mind I'm thinking yes, the Rocket should be how he is in the film, which is a bit strange. But anywho, I really enjoyed this issue, and I give Nova issue number 20 5 stars out of 5. Next up we have issue number 34 of Batman and Robin. This continues the Robin Rises storyline, and this issue is really good. The opening part of the issue kind of has Batman making peace with the Bat family, because Batman pretty much realizes that this mission to Apocalypse to reclaim Damian's body, like even if he can't resurrect Damian, he still wants to get Damian's body, and he realizes this is a suicide mission, that he most likely won't survive this. So he's making peace with the Bat family, making sure that Gotham is protected, And then we get him trying to, like, he knows he needs this armor that the Justice League have, and he's kind of like launches his plan to try and get that. The end of the issue once again is just awesome. I was just so waiting, thinking, oh, I can't wait for next month. I'm really enjoying this story. And then you kind of realize, oh god, I've got to wait 2 months. I'm telling you, if every DC book is going to have a tremendous cliffhanger, I'm going to quickly end up hating Future's End month, because I'm already 2 books in and they've had fantastic cliffhangers that I just really want to see resolved. And if I'm going to, this is what we're going to have all month now. I'm going to really hate that Future's End month. Anywho, like I say, really enjoyed the story. Art from Patrick Gleason was great as always. And yeah, this story, I'm really enjoying the Robin Rises story so far, and it's been really great. And I give Batman and Robin issue number 34 5 stars out of 5. We then have Original Sins, issue number 5 of 5. This is the final issue of this mini. This has really been dealing with the secrets that have come out in issue 3 of Original Sin. But this is for characters who don't have their own book. So, the first story deals with Nick Fury and Dum Dum Dugan. And we get this big reveal about Dum Dum Dugan, which I really liked. It does feel with this Original Sin storyline that it's kind of like they're wrapping everything Nick Fury related up, and it's kind of, I got this fear that they're going to wipe Nick Fury out, and anybody related to Nick Fury in storyline wise is going to get wiped out, so we've only got one Nick Fury. I do have this really big fear they're going to do that, because the ironic thing is, reading this book, I love that the old Nick Fury, and I'm not, in the Marvel universe at least, I'm not as enamored yet with the young Nick Fury. He hasn't kind of built up, because this is one of the problems, you see, because Nick Fury in the films, he's been around a while, he's done all of these things, where the way they're doing it now and bringing in this new Nick Fury is he hasn't built up that lifetime of stuff that the original Nick Fury had. So I find it difficult to kind of see him as the same character, and it's going to take time for him to grow and into being that character, unless they're going to do some kind of time travel story where he goes off somewhere and does something, I don't know. Anyway, yeah, getting back to this issue, I really enjoyed this Nick Fury, Dum Dum Dugan story, some really nice twists. We then get a Young Avengers story, which I love the Young Avengers, I thought they were brilliant. You can see on the cover there, you've got Prodigy, Marvel Boy and Hulkling, and they're taking on the Hood, who wants to download all the secrets of the Watcher, and he's trying to get them to help him, but like Prodigy manages to outsmart him, and that was a fun story. Again, the art for that story is completely different, as you can see here. And then finally we get this like short 2-page story, which is more for laughs, as like they try and find out these different secrets about characters in the Marvel universe. All in all, this book really surprised me. I went into it not really expecting much, and I came out really enjoying it. By no means a classic, but there's some really good stories, especially if you're a New Avengers or Nick Fury fan. I think this is well worth a pickup, and I give Original Sins, issue number 5, 4 stars out of 5. So next up we have all new XFactor, issue number 12. This issue we have the press conference. We get to see Gambit confront Harrison Snow over leaving him behind, and Harrison makes Gambit admit that Gambit slept with his wife. And that I don't trust that Harrison Snow. He's one bad dude, and I'm getting a real stank off that guy. And I know he's bad. He's not good. And I know there's going to be something down the road with him. But at the moment, he's acting all nicey nice, but you know there's something more going on behind them eyes. The main bulk of the issue, though, deals with Quicksilver. He finishes up his spying gig for Havoc and the Avengers, and they invite him to go back to the Avengers, and he's like, no, I think I'll stay with XFactor. And then we have his past catch up with him, and he has to stand and face up to it. And the end of the issue is such a beautiful, heartwarming moment. I defy anybody not to go on that last page, because it was just a beautiful moment between father and daughter. Peter David's real skill here is taking a bunch of characters you don't really care about and making you care. With the exception of Gambit, this team, as we can see on the cover, I don't really care about any of those characters, but the way Peter David has written them and the way I've just suddenly I feel affection for all those characters and I care what happens to them, and Peter David does just such a great job of building the story issue to issue. And this is one of those books where I think if you just read it as a standalone, I don't think it would have the same impact and you'd enjoy it as much as if you read all the preceding issues and then get to it. And I think that Peter David's great skill, and I'm just really loving this book still. And I give All New X-Factor issue number 12 5 stars out of 5. So next up, it is time for my book of the week, or pick of the week rather. My pick of the week this week is Daredevil issue number 7, which is an original sin tie-in. Daredevil was going to Wakanda to rescue his mother, this nun who he's found out is his mother. He's had this vision when the secrets came out in original sin issue 3 that his dad beats his mom. And he kind of wants the truth to this because he idolized his dad and he can't imagine why his dad would beat his mom, but it would make sense why his mom left and abandoned him. So he goes to Wakanda. But Wakanda have been doing these experiments in America, testing weapons, and the government know about it and have been getting paid for it. And Daredevil and these women have found out and wanted to expose it, and they've been arrested now by Wakanda and sent back to Wakanda to be executed. And Daredevil is on his way to save these 3 nuns, one of whom is his mother. I hope I made sense there. But anywho, this story, we kick it off with Daredevil getting into Wakanda, and he has this fantastic plan, which I really like the way he lays out this plan to kind of get them back, because he isn't going to do it with brute force. Wakanda's technology is majorly advanced. There's no way he's going to be able to go in there and just, take her. So I really like the plan and the scheme that he gets. I thought was really cool. And then the latter half of the issue, we get the truth. We get this beautiful scene with Daredevil and his mom, and she kind of explains why she went away, why she became a nun, and I really like that because it felt real. There was genuine emotion there. If the story made sense, it didn't seem kind of unrealistic. It really grounded it and gave it a nice sense of reality, and just was a real lovely moment, and I just really enjoyed this issue. To go from that, like the action at the beginning and then the clever plan, and then you've got this real emotional bit at the end. Yeah, I really enjoyed this issue, and Mark Waid just keeps writing this character so well. Art wise, on art and on colours, we have Javier Rodriguez, who does a top-notch job. I think, this book creatively, doesn't matter if it's Samney or Rodriguez, there's such a strong team, and it's so useful having a colorist who also can draw, because he can kind of step in when Samney needs a break, and yeah, the art just remains superb. And I also really love the usage of colour. Yeah, so this book was just really great, and I give Daredevil issue number 7 my pick of the week. Next up, we have Magneto issue number 8. This was another really great issue. This was the first issue where the story kind of continues. Last issue, Magneto closed down this place that was feeding mutants to like gladiator games against these. I forget what they're called. Some Predator X, was it? I think it was Predator X. You can never find the word when you get Predator X. They were feeding the mutants to these Predator X's to fight, and the ones that didn't survive, they were using them to make mutant growth hormone, which is this kind of drug that you can inject and it gives you temporary powers. Magneto is shutting this down, and he finds the base where they're making it, and this issue he tracks them down, while at the same time S.H.I.E.L.D. are trying to track him down. Once again, Colin Bunn just writes this character brilliantly. I love the internal monologues. They are just the highlight for me of the issue. And I really love the dialogue in this issue between the S.H.I.E.L.D. agents and Magneto, as he kind of points out, you've got this factory here where they're torturing mutants to make this human growth hormone, yet it's me you want to arrest and not these people, and the only time you want to deal with these people is when they become mutants. And it's like, what's wrong with this? And this is the thing about the book that I like, is that You don't agree with his methods, but there's a lot of things that Magneto says that pretty much the way he's portrayed in the book are true. You know, the way that S.H.I.E.L.D. always go to shut the mutants down first, and you know, he is kind of, and his people are kind of persecuted, and you can see his viewpoint in this, and that's where because you don't agree with his tactics, but you can see where he's coming from, and his motives are pure, and I think that's what Cullen Bunn has just really captured so brilliantly with this book. The only thing that let this issue down was the art. Magneto's face in a lot of the pictures just was, yeah, I just didn't like, you know, look there's an example of how they draw Magneto's face. I just, yeah, I didn't like the art so much on this issue, but the story was really strong, and I'd give Magneto issue number 8 4 stars out of 5. So my penultimate book this week is The Deadly Hands of Kung Fu issue number 4. This is the final issue of this 4-part miniseries. Love that cover. I think that's my favourite cover this week. I really do like that cover. The story inside I really liked. It's a fantastically well written book, really satisfying conclusion, wraps everything up nicely and logically. We have some really big scenes, and yeah, I really liked it, and there's a real nice twist as well where Midnight Sun's plan goes wrong. And despite a large list of characters in the book, Shang-Chi gets to take the big stand at the end and play a big part in how this finishes. So that was really cool. Once again, the thing that lets this book down is the art. I just don't think this artist's strength is action, and what you need an artist who's good at action to get the most out of this book. So I think that was bad choice by Marvel to pick this artist for the book. Also, I think it's just a thing for me, my personal taste. I'm not keen on how this guy draws characters. I'm trying to find a good picture here. You know, you look there, you've got Shang-Chi, and look at just the way he draws his head. I'm just not keen on that at all. And plus the action, the way he draws his figures. Again, I think it more comes down to a taste thing that I'm not that keen on. You know, the way he draws his figures. But yeah, for me, I just felt this artist was on the wrong book, and I think that really hurt it, which is a shame, because I think there was a good story trying to get out here. And I give Deadly Hands of Kung Fu issue number 4 4 stars out of 5. Finally this week we have Batman Eternal issue number 20, a third of the way through, and this was another really good issue. It's an issue written by Tim Seeley, and it pretty much rounds off all the stories we've been following. So the Batman Killer Croc story finishes up, the Blackgate Prison Riot finishes up, Batgirl, Batwoman and Red Hood's journey to Brazil, that story comes to a close. So all the main stories we've been following for the last few issues, they all kind of come to a head this issue. And then the end of the issue, we kind of kick off where we're going next with a character, which I really loved. Again, I just when I put this book down, I was really excited to see what happens next with that character, because I really like what they've done with her, and I've never read her character before, but I think the 2 pages we get of her at the end here were really good. I like that we're getting, things do feel like they're moving on, so that's really cool. All in all, this was, like I say, a really good issue. Art wise, again, we, like I was saying with the weeklies, every week we have a different artist, and yeah, the art I felt was alright. Wasn't my favourite artist we've had on here. It's difficult trying to pick a picture because I don't want to kind of spoil any of the scenes, but yeah, I like the artist. He wasn't too bad. Not my favourite one we've had, but it's kind of like it's a roll with the dice each week of what artists you get, which is a shame. I personally would have liked each artist to have kind of got assigned a part of the story, and then they just draw that part of the story, but I don't know, maybe that wouldn't have worked in the book, I don't know. But anywho, this was a really strong issue once again. I give Batman Eternal issue number 20 5 stars out of 5. So yeah, a complete and epic fail on the 20-minute thing. Looking at the clock now, I'm like clicking on down to 25 minutes, so I'll make this quick. I would just like to send a big thank you and a bit of a shout out to a couple of gentlemen, to Taumua, Adam Day and Sleepy Reader. I want to say a big thank you for, you always take the time to leave comments on my videos, and I really appreciate it. I just wanted to give you a shout out and a thank you. Also, Adam Day and Sleepy Reader have channels. Check them out, they do some great videos on there, well worth checking out every week. So yeah, please, if you've not watched their videos, they're well worth a little bit of a look. So that's pretty much me for this week. Next week I will be back on Wednesday, fingers crossed. We've got the Workman in on Wednesday, so I'm going to be picking my comics up later. So I don't know if I'll be able to do a whole video. Hopefully I will. All being good, I will get a whole video done, but we'll have to. But I can't promise for sure, because like Thursday I've got a meeting, and then Wednesday we got the Workman. So it's like either day I can't really. It's going to be difficult. So if there's going to be one up, it will be Wednesday. And then next week we'll have another review video, where this week it's going to be 12 books I'm picking up. It would have been 13, I think G.I. Zombie comes out this week, but I've had to drop it just because the number of books I'm buying, I need to start cutting back on some. It's not a thing that I enjoy all my books, it's just, it's getting a bit out of control now. And it's like used to be a big week if I had 10, where it's been a few weeks now, maybe a month, since I had a week where I had less than 10. So yeah, I think I need to cut back a little bit on some of the books I'm getting, and something like G.I. Zombie, which I like the first issue, I think I'll just wait and get that in trade. I didn't buy, like I said, I stuck to my guns, didn't pick up Multiversity. From what I've heard, it sounds like it was excellent. For me, it was just, like I say, my books are already out of control, I need to cut back a bit, so I didn't want to add a book that's $4.99 to my pool. And that was the thing that really put me off. And it seems to be lately, like the companies like Marvel, they seem to be bringing out a lot more $4.99 books. And then you've got like DC, they got their 2 weeklies. You've got Secret Origins that comes out every month. That's $4.99, which I'm not sure how that's doing. I don't really hear anybody talking about that. And now you've got Multiversity $4.99. It seems like the prices of the comics, we're in a time where they're changing, because even Image are starting to do some $3.99 books now, where they never did $3.99. I think it was like the highest their books would go to was $3.50, but they're starting to bring out $3.99 books. So yeah, the prices seem to be changing in comics at the moment, which for us, the comic book collectors, that's not good. Anywho, enough of me wittering on. Thank you very much for watching my video, really appreciate it. If you liked what you saw, if you enjoyed my video, please give me those beautiful thumbs up and let me know you like what you're seeing. If you don't, please, in the comments below, tell me why you don't like my video, and if there's something I can do to make them better. I'm always willing to listen to constructive criticism. Like I say, once again, thank you very much for watching my video. I've been Jason. These have been my comic book reviews. Bye for now.